This is Elizabeth Quay Bus Station. Elizabeth Quay Bus Station is located in the south of the CBD, adjacent to the Perth Convention and Exhibition Centre as well as Elizabeth Quay train station right here. It is also near to the Elizabeth Quay ferry terminal at the actual quay itself. This is the front of the station out here, consisting of many bike rails, seating and a toilet. The station serves the most routes of any transit station in the Transperth network, with over 45 services coming to this station. We are now heading up the sole escalator which gets you from the Elizabeth Quay train station to the Elizabeth Quay bus station. If you are heading down, you must take the stairs or the lift, which is rather inconvenient as the main cross passage between the two stations, but at least there's at least one escalator. So this is the rather wide open area once you get up to the top of that escalator. This here is the Ernst & Young office building, located right here next to the walkway into the bus station. So every time you walk between the two stations, you always get to see this office building here. I've never actually gone in there itself and don't know what it's about, but you just got that there. Now the walk is actually rather significant. Like, you shouldn't expect to be able to get from the train station to the bus station in like a minute, unless you really want to sprint. So as a slow family, it could take up to 5 minutes honestly to get to the bus stop. So you get up here, and then there is 3 or actually 4 different pedestrian bridges to connect you over across Mounts Bay Road down there, but one of them is currently closed off because they built a newer one right here. So you can see this is the newer one, and over there is the old one. I don't think that one is ever going to open anymore. So there's only 3, but that was actually the main one which took you right to the entrance of the busports. It's a shame it's not open. You can see the buses entering down there. That is one of the 3 access points for the bus station, which is an entry point only from the westbound Mounts Bay Road. Very specific, that is. Now here's the main system map outside the station without the airport line on it. I know this was filmed way before that, but the last time I checked, it still doesn't have the airport line on it, so I wonder when that'll be fixed. Now if you come inside, you can see the seating and screen displays right here with a massive list of all the stands and routes, and a cat map as well, including the purple cat and the green cat and blue cat which come to this bus station, and also the ferry route. And then this is the overall map, and you can see there are services up to Morley, rather a lot of them, including the very busy 950 route. And then this part is outdated because the airport line is open. You can't go to Midland from here anymore, and there's only a few routes left to Kalamunda now. Then you can also go to the south and west. However, you cannot go to the northwest, as all of that is served by Perth Busport, which there are 4 routes connecting Elizabeth Quay and Perth Busport together, which are the 30, 31 and 34, as well as the Blue Cat. You can take these at a rather high frequency on weekdays between the 2 bus stations, taking about 10 minutes if the road is busy, and then you can go to the northwest from there. Now let's take a look at the rest of the bus station. You can see there's more information here with the suburbs and train times at Elizabeth Quay listed. There's a lot of kiosks and food stores around, and a Smart Rider at Valley machine, and one of the 5 Transperth info centers right there. And then here is a massive timetable box with every single timetable in existence here, all of them from all the areas. See, this is where you go when you need to stock up on paper timetables. And then these are the toilets in here. Only one set of toilets in this bus station. The accessible one is on the other side. These are rather okay. I've gone in there a few times. And then the vending machines. Now this is stand C, the access point down there. This is for most of the cats that depart from here, but you can see the escalator actually only goes up, so you have to walk down the stairs if you want to go down. But if you do really want to use the escalator, then you should go on the other side, because there's another access point to each of the 5 rows of stands. And on the west side the escalator goes down, but on the east side it goes up. Although for some reason I feel like every single time I always have to go against the escalator, because buses actually drop you off usually on the west side, and then I always have to go up the stairs, and then they pick you up on the east side, and then I always have to go down the stairs. Very, very silly. It's not always like that, but a lot of the time I feel like with most of the busy routes it's like that. Anyway, let's take a look. This is one of the stands here. You can see a bit of seating on the side, help point, bins, and a glass panel to separate it from the other rows of stands. So as I said, there is 5 rows of stands, A, B, C, D, and E. All of them drive from east to west, except A, which drives from west to east, and each one has 7 stands at it. So this is the middle one, C. This is where the blue cat and green cats depart from. I don't know why it says 24 minutes right there, that's a long time. You can go to the busport from stand C5 with the blue cat, stand C6 is for the green cat, and stand C7 is for the blue cat to King's Park. The purple cat, however, departs from stand B5. Now, if you go up here, this is now the other side again. Take the escalator up, and then here is a large circle of phone booths that they have, and a sanitizer point, and that's pretty much it. Now we're at the end of the bus station. There's an empty shop here. There's a lot of shops here, even a hairdresser and a lottery agency. Lots of stuff you can do in here. And now here is one of the 5 lifts to take you down. Each row of stands has its own one. This is lift E for row E, obviously, which I feel like is the least used row of them all. When you come down, you can see there's a few buses here, and this is also where train replacement bus routes for the Mandurah line depart from, and taxi services and coach services with non-Transperth, obviously. It's also that digital clock at each of the 5 stands, so you can see the time. See, these are just some random overflow stands. They don't even have any services departing from here, so you can imagine how empty this stand is. And you can walk all the way down along and see the emptiness of this stand here. It's a quiet place to wait. And then on the right side, over this glass panel, there's actually an entire bus waiting layover area. As you can see, lots of buses parked all the way down there, all the way down. This is where the drivers go when they're having a break. They can park in there and then go up and have something from the many shops in the waiting area. You can keep walking along, and this is apparently the taxi stand, even though I've never seen any taxis here. You can see Elizabeth Quay train station out there, as well as the construction works with all the skyscrapers. And then when you go too far here, there's this automated voice which tells you to go away. Listen.
Warning. Access beyond this point is prohibited. Warning. Access beyond this point is prohibited.
That's pretty annoying. Back up at the waiting area, you can see the whole thing from here. If you turn around, there's actually a secondary exit from the bus station to the south, which leads straight up to the Perth Convention Exhibition Centre. This is where I was during the January Mandurah line shutdown, which you can watch in the corner. See that video, and you could transfer between the PCEC and Elizabeth Quay bus stations right here between those 2 doors, although otherwise this exit is very rarely used unless there's actually a busy event at the convention center there. Now here there's like this entire outdoor area which is completely empty. Lots of trees and gardens here. A lot of people actually come here for smoking when they're waiting for a bus because it's outdoors. And I don't really know why there's so much space here, but that's just how it is. You can see the busway down there, and one of the other 3 exit points onto William Street out there, and all the skyscrapers of the city and the train station as well. Now that exit point there is also the one used for the services which go onto the Kwinana freeway. You can go straight out there. And then here, this is what it looks like of each of the 10 different passages to get down to the stands. It's just like a black tube, feels like some sewer when you look at it from the outside. It's very strange, but that's what it looks like. And then here there is a third entrance into the busport, which leads straight past the toilets here. And then you can get in and you're back at this big central clock with all the seats if you've ordered anything to eat here. So that's that. Now it's time to point out a few oddities at the bus station. Down here at stand A, as I said before, the buses drive in the opposite direction to how they do at all the other stands, and there's no glass barrier between stand A and B. But what I wanted to show you here, this stand A1, is for the route 35, which is a very short route which just quickly travels over to the South Perth Old Mill. And also this apparent route 900, a ferry replacement service to South Perth, although I have no idea when the last time that was used was. And also during the Midland Line shutdown in February, 900 was actually the Perth to Bassendean route, so I don't know why it's conflicting in numbers there. And then all throughout you can see these rainbow poles as well between the different stands and the absence of the glass there. And this is another oddity I want to point out. First of all, Route 23 is some sort of school route which only operates a few times a day. But the second thing, look at this. Route 995 is still right there, stand B5. Yep, it stops there. Now if you move down here, for some reason here at stand B2, it doesn't even exist. There's no pole. I don't know why it says that. And then you got that metal grate there. And then stand B1, look what's on there. 995 again. As well as a second stop for the 950. With two high frequency routes. This is very similar to what happens at Borogoon bus station, where buses stop twice at the same bus station, so theoretically you could take it just one stop through the bus station. Very, very strange that is. These digital screen displays are also located all along the stand, so you can see when the next service is coming, and it says any deviations or delays and things as well. Here's another good look at the bus layover bays. You can see the front of all of the buses here. And now, before we see the bus clips, I just wanted to show you the access into the busport. So one very strange thing is, most of the services along St. George's Terrace actually turn down William Street to go into Elizabeth Quay Bus Station. But there are a select few which continue along and stop at one extra stop on St. George's Terrace just before Mill Street, and then go down Mill Street instead. But all services exiting go up Mill Street, so very strange. Now this is the intersection of Mill Street and Mounts Bay Road. One of the three access points to the bus station is here. You can see this one is bi-directional, you can go in and out. And the other access points are the one to Kwinana Freeway and William Street I showed you before, and also the single access point to go in from westbound Mounts Bay Road, which I also showed you before. So you travel along here. That traffic light actually has 5 directions: the bus station, the car park, and then Mounts Bay Road and Mill Street. And you actually have to stop here for buses coming out of the stands. You have to give way to them. Now, I still haven't mentioned, the bus station opened on the 30th of November 1991, named City Busport. It was then renamed to Esplanade Busport in September 2004, and then on the 31st of January 2016 it became known as Elizabeth Quay Bus Station, along with the train station, which was also renamed, costing $700,000 just to do that. Absolutely insane. Okay, we've now passed the other entrance from Mounts Bay Road, and you can see there's a few more layover bays here which are specifically for articulated buses, and then these ones here are specifically for rigid buses. You can see the signs there saying which one it is. So whenever you access from Mounts Bay Road, you always pass these layover bays. And then there's another stop sign as you turn right, and then you can access any one of the 4 stands which travel from east to west, but obviously you cannot go into stand A, which means that services which do use stand A actually pass through stand C. It usually is just non-stopping anywhere, and then come to stand A. You can see a coach service there as well. So we've just turned into stand D. Now this one is where most of the now withdrawn routes which went to the airport line service area departed from, including the 295, 296 and 299 and 298, which went up to the Maida Vale, Karrinyup area, no, Kalamunda area. And then there's also the airport services like 40, 935 and 36, which also went along Great Eastern Highway. Those were all removed, and then all that was replaced by the high frequency 940 route along Great Eastern Highway to Redcliffe Station, although the 935 remains but was just shortened to terminate at Redcliffe Station. But the 935 doesn't even go to Elizabeth Quay Bus Station, it actually bypasses it and goes up to Kings Park, except during the Christmas pageant disruptions, which is a video I made last week and you can watch up in the corner. And then finally there is now the new route 270, which travels from here to High Wycombe Station, which is the semi-replacement of the old routes 286, 287 and 288, which all used to come here as well. And you can watch videos about all these changes on my channel, which I made separate videos for each change. You can see the 28X one in the corner right now. I know we're already well into the bus clips now, but I just finally have to rate the station. Obviously, being a city station, having this many stands and routes and that massive waiting area with all the shops, this station is beautiful, excellent, great connection here with the ferry and train and bus, all being in the south of the CBD, for commuters to be able to come here and go straight to their offices along St. George's Terrace. I'm going to give it a full rating of 5 stars. Very wonderful, big station, one of the best in the entire Transperth network.
Attention passengers, transfer advises passengers and visitors that luggage and personal items must not be left in